Hey guys, welcome to a recap of Summer House Martha's Vineyard, episode 2. Guess who's coming to the vineyard? This episode got a little bit better. I was waiting on it. I'm like, if we stay here throughout this whole episode and nothing happens, nothing genuine happens, I don't know. I don't know how the series is gonna go, how it's gonna do. But this episode was way better than the first episode. So much so that I'm looking forward for the third episode because we get a to be continued moment, guys. So where we last left off, the episode opens at that dinner, that awkward dinner where genuine conversations are supposed to happen. But of course, we have Jasmine trying to like manufacture a moment, which I understand. It's a new series. You want it to be black excellence. You want it to be great. But we want a reality show that is genuine. So that dinner conversation ended quite awkward. They all left, but at the end of the day, the issue between Silas and Jasmine is between Silas and Jasmine. It has nothing to do with Jordan. Jordan, it could have been any other woman that Silas found as a bad influence towards his wife. But we learn later in the episode that, it's a balancing thing that they're working on. Like, once they got married, Jasmine, she recognizes that she can't necessarily be all the time with her girlfriends, that she has to, take care of her husband and her marriage life. But, it's a balancing act. And, her single friends, they may not see that perspective for her, but she's living in this as her new reality. So we kind of get to see a little bit of that dynamic. So the dinner end, they all in the cab, not in the cabs, but they all head home in their cars. And this moment, I really appreciated Mariah. She calls her son before he goes to bed, and they do their affirmations before he goes to sleep. And I'm like, I need to do this. I need to incorporate that into my life because I love all the little notes that they said. Like, you love, they want to get abundance of love, abundance of friends, abundance of money. Yes, start them off young. Start them off young. I thought that was so beautiful, and I really like that scene. I think Mariah made low key my favorite on the show. So yeah. So the night ends, and the Coopers, they talk about the whole situation at dinner during like pillow talk, but then they work things out, y'all. They work things out, and they are the first people to break in the summer house, and they got it on. And I was like, I don't know if they knew they were being filmed, but that was like too much bouncing around that we got, too much R-rated action. But they resolved their problems, and they seem to end it off in a good note. So I thought that was so beautiful and a cute little, scene. I'm like, to make the show a little bit spicy. So it's the third day, y'all. Remember, they're staying in the summer house for 15 days. So a lot can happen in 15 days. And I'm like, okay, let's get into it because we already had the first, second day, now we're on the third day. So Jasmine has her morning routine. Everyone has their morning routine. So Jasmine, she cooks breakfast for her man while her man works. And her man Silas, he understands that he has to be pretty much the breadwinner to kind of create a safety for Jasmine, especially knowing that she was once homeless living in a car. So his focus seems to be, cementing the family, stabilizing the family, which is not a bad idea. That's a proud thing to do because you see him in the morning. Every morning since we saw him there, he's been on his laptop, doing his work, doing what he do. I don't know what he do, but he was doing what he does on the computer. So Jasmine could make him this little bacon, some eggs. I thought that was a cute little gig. That was cute. So we learned that she was single for 4 years before she met Silas, and she met Silas at the height of COVID, yeah, 2020 in April. I don't know. I don't know. You guys are supposed to be social distancing, and y'all not. Y'all making relationships, but desperate times call for desperate measures. I feel like in 2020, a lot of couples formed and got married, and they were one of those couples. So they met in April 2020, and he knew that she was the one by November. Still the height of COVID, but I like that. I think it's cute. So it's so interesting to see. I'm so curious about the relationship, but I do think that we're getting more of the real coming out of them. And when they get into conflicts with the group, you kind of see that their dynamic, how it really works. So, we also learned that she's from Missouri. Silas, he's Liberian. That makes Jasmine a Liberian wife. And of course, off the bat, that's going to come with cultural differences. So I would like to see them one on one. When you have these kind of shows, you have to have at least one couple that plays the mom and dad. That kind of adds like its own storyline. And it's very interesting to see that dynamic with the singles because everyone in the house is single except for Bria. Bria, she has a man. Okay, Jasmine, Bria has a man. Okay, okay. So it's interesting to see the dynamic of people in their different relationship status. So Priya, she plays with her dog. Everyone has their morning routine. Some do yoga, but Amir, he goes and finds Jordan and says, "Jordan, let's go kayaking." And she's like, "Is this gonna require getting wet? Like, I don't want to get wet." And I thought that was funny and cute. But he insisted. He's like, "Oh, come on, let's go do this together." So she ends up going, and of course Nick sees that, and he's like, "Ugh, that's so low." Pretty much just a low effort date. He's like, Jordan deserves so much more, and that she's a sophisticated woman, and what Amir is doing is just like so low effort. So he's like, ugh. So he pays no mind to that. And what do you guys think? I wouldn't want to go kayaking per se but I didn't think of it as a date day. I just think that he just wanted to hang out with her and have some time with her. So I didn't think that was such a bad thing. So, anywho, Nick, he has a crush on Jordan, but we also learned he has a crush on Shanice. Shanice, she is coming later on. I think either that day or the next day, but she's gonna be coming on, and we get to see that dynamic. And he has a crush on Shanice, and he's like, these women are not the only women on Martha's Vineyard, so he is intending to at least date somebody. He want to love on somebody. So the crew ultimately they make plans to go bowling, and this will be actually one of the first opportunities that we get to see Nick in jeans. But even though when we saw his outfit, it still looked quite sophisticated. He is such a stylish fashion guy. So it was interesting for him to say that that was his more tame, more calmed down, more casual looks, and that would be a rare moment for him. But I thought he still looked quite refined. And they go to bowling, and we get to see what was interesting. We got to see President Obama's bowling shoes. Remember, Martha Vineyard is where a lot of the elites like to hang out. So you're going to see some elite stuff all around, some trinkets of historical moments. So that was amazing. The shoes were huge. The shoes look big. Anywho, we learned from the bowling experience that Bria, she's a superstar at bowling, and that she said that reason is because she would go bowling with her father every weekend, and that was how they bonded. So she was a pro and she killed it at bowling. And so Bria's having fun, and I'm glad she's having fun because she seemed to have a hard time initially with Jasmine and Mariah. And it was great to see this opportunity for her to shine, to show her skills, for the group to see, oh, she's pretty cool. So she goes off to the side and she hangs out with Jasmine. And Jasmine, she's telling, no, Bria, she's telling Jasmine how this scene is so different from Munich, Germany. Remember, she lives in Munich, Germany with her man, Simon. And she says it's not like this in Munich, Germany. They don't have like a bowling ceiling. Most people they go out when they have money, they just go out to eat and that's it. There's not like a activity to do it per se. But I don't think that's true. I feel like there's some activity she probably just unaware. I'm not too sure, but I feel like there's something to do in Munich. I've never been to Munich, but I wouldn't say that there's nothing to do. I guess she was just so happy to do bowling, especially because this is something that she bonded with her father. So probably they don't bowl in Munich. If anyone's from Munich, let us know. If anyone in Germany wanted, let us know. Do you guys bowl in Germany? Is that a European thing or is that just an American thing? So, Bria, she's happy and she's saying if Simon was here, they would have so much fun. Simon would be the one to buy up all the stuff, pay for everything. Jasmine kind of looked at Bria sideways. She's like, I don't need a man to pay for any of this activities. I already have a man. We don't need your man. And Bria, she's trying to say that, oh, Preston should be coming in the last week to hang out with the group, so they will be meeting him. But Jasmine, she's so shady. She's a gangster in these confessions. Jasmine, next season, they're gonna if there's a next season, I hope you guys get the next season. If there's a next season, Jasmine, they're gonna come for you because you too gangster in these confessionals because you don't act the same in person, face to face. Like Jasmine is so sweet in their face, but in the confessional, she'll go and she'll talk down on Bria's relationship and say that, oh, this is $1, $2, $3 of the week. The guys, they don't stay. It's not a serious thing. She doesn't really put weight to Bria's relationship, which I can, if I was Bria, I would be insulted. I think Bria would be insulted and she would come for you. So, so at least we have something to look forward. So in the last week, Simon will be coming and he will be hanging out with the group. So we'll see how he blends in and mesh in. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't even know. But anywho, I'm excited because that's gonna be something to look forward to. But anyways, Bowling and Mariah, she offered to do a moon mask, and that is such a tongue twister because I didn't get what she was saying initially. But she says she wants to host a moon mass, and everyone in the group shouldn't go to sleep right away. So I'm excited to see because I'm fascinated with Mariah. She gave us cute, fun little moments, and pretty much she explains how the moon mass is gonna be a spiritual session. So she is so excited to share this with the group. But remember, they've been out playing bowling. After playing bowling, I would want to go eat again because I feel like I would be hungry. So the crew, they head home and they head outside where Mariah is hosting the moon mass. And the thing is that she was so knowledgeable about the information about the moon mass that she was sharing and informing the group, but I felt like they were so tired they were not receiving the information, and that kind of hurt Mariah's feelings. I felt for her in that moment because can you imagine you're excited to share something that is so important to you, to your family, to your history, and everyone is like ready to go to bed. Like they say, we receive it, but we want to go to bed. So I felt for her in that moment. And, this was Mariah's moment to really connect with the group, to share something. Like, and I get her, but I felt like maybe it could have been inside. Maybe they could have done it like inside the living room. Open up the window. We could look at the moon like that. Have some like small food, small drinks, and then talk about some affirmations like that. I think if she made it more of a vibe, because it did seem a little bit last minute. It did seem like, oh, this is the thing we're gonna do. We just go outside, but you have to create more of a vibe for people to feel that they can engage and have fun, and it's just not an informative moment where you're just saying, oh, this is what a moon mass is. Does anyone like to share anything? No, you share to the group and let them receive and feed off of that. So I feel like that's where it went wrong, but I understand her intention that she was doing this to kind of connect, and she felt ready to express herself to the group. So I felt for our girl Mariah, okay? So it is the next morning, and we get to meet Shanice. Shanice, she comes in. No, no, no. The guys hear Shanice comes in. They don't see her yet. Okay, they don't see her yet. They are so excited, particularly Nick, because he has a crush on her. He's been in her DMs. They had some small talk before meeting at the house. And when she passed by, she sees Bria, and Shanice, she's here because that's Bria's good friend. Remember this information, that's Bria's good friend. And so she sees Bria and then she goes say hi to everyone and she says hi to Nick. And Nick is like, He's like, who is this woman? Who is this woman? Oh my God, I would be so embarrassed. He pretty much called her a catfish because he said that she looked nothing like her photos. But when they showed the photo of who he was talking to, I just felt like she just looked more glam in the photo. Because when she came to the house, she was like no makeup, hair like pulled back, very, morning appropriate. She's not gonna come in the morning full beat in her face. That would look a little bit too much. That's a little bit doing too much. But I don't know. Did you guys think she was a catfish? I didn't think she was a catfish. Anywho, she goes and she goes to the girls, and the girls they have girl chat. And we learned that Phil, another person, will be coming to the house later that day. And before they talked about Phil, we learned that Shanice, she's not really attracted to Nick, thank God, because that was embarrassing. She's like, oh, Nick is not her type, but Alex is the hottest guy in this house for her. She likes Alex. So we're gonna get a little showmance. And I like the energy that Shanice comes with because she's already getting into some drama and she's only been in the house just for a second. Just for a second already, we can see the drama. So Phil is one of Bria's friends, and he supposedly is good vibes. And he had hosted some great moments for Bria. And I thought, okay, this is gonna be an occasion. I can't wait to see that. But I noticed with Bria, she likes when the men are spending the dollars. Okay, I noticed that that's the second time she mentioned money in association with a person. Not to say that it is a bad thing, but it's to kind of gauge to get in the mind of Bria. What's in the mind of Bria? How does she view people as good to her or as bad to her? Because I was looking at her a little bit sideways a little bit later in the episode, but we'll get into that. So everyone, they're girl chatting, they're talking, and I am looking forward for these people to really get into the tea, get into the gossip because things are starting to pick up. So it's now time for everyone to get ready to go out first to a dinner, then to the club. They're going out to the club. This is their first real night out in the scene in I believe Oak Bluffs in Martha's Vineyard. So everyone's getting ready, everyone's getting glam, but our girl Mariah, she's deciding that she wants to stay home. She really felt hurt when everyone didn't take her moon mask so seriously. So she is gonna stay but come later for the club. She'll come later for the club. But in the middle of all this, she's doing laundry, preparing, and whatnot, and she goes into to take out her laundry, and she learns and she sees her stuff with the dog's toys in the laundry, getting cleaned together. I don't like that. I don't like that, and I understand Mariah because we don't mix the human stuff with the dog stuff. That was a no. That was not. I'm not gonna say nasty. I said that's a little bit too personal. Maybe you can do that for you and your stuff, but you cannot impose that onto others. And I felt like Bria, that was wrong. That was wrong. You're beautiful, but you're wrong. You're wrong. So the girls they get into it, and Mariah, she comes with it. Even though she's like chill, namaste, she still comes with it. Okay, but what shocked me was that Bria, she hold her own. She hold her own, and she said to Mariah, "Watch your tone. Watch your tone." I would say, okay. I was like, okay, Bria. Bria's little, but she's feisty. She's feisty. I'm like, damn. I was not expecting that. So the girls, they break it up. They're like, "Are you guys serious? Are you guys serious? Not a big deal." Jasmine, she takes Mariah and she pulls her off to the side and say that, Bria didn't intend to do that. It was an accident. And then that makes Mariah look at Jasmine a certain way. She's like, "You taking up for her? Like, can you call out what she did was wrong?" Which I do think that she should have said that, oh, what she did was wrong. But the whole thing and how they went about it was not okay because Mariah touched Bria. and you can't touch people. That's wrong. Even though they did you wrong, you can't touch people. You can't get into people's space like that. You have to respect other people's spaces. So of course that brings down Mariah's mood even more. And Jasmine, she leaves it at that because they were right in the process of leaving. So while all this is going on, mind you, Shanice, Bria's best friend, she left with the guy. Before she left, she took a selfie. She posed. She took some photos, and then she left. She left with the guys without even checking on her good friend. And she's like, she doesn't even want to be a part of the drama. So she knew it was going on, but she said to the guys, oh, I don't want to be caught up in all that. So I was like, okay, that's supposed to be your friend. So that was a little bit, but seeing Mariah so emotional, I wanted to give her a hug because I understood that Mariah, she was already feeling hurt from the night before. So to add on to this, she's not gonna feel like she has anybody in the house because Mariah and Jasmine are friends, and Jasmine didn't even offer any comfort to her. So I was feeling like, oh my God. So now when we get to the dinner, everyone's there, and pretty much Bria, she wasn't feeling like sitting with the group. She's like, I'm not gonna be fake. I need to at least not sit by Shanice. She walks away, and the girls, Jordan and Jasmine, had to tell Shanice that you did not take up for your friend at all, and that you need to follow her and talk to your friend to get things in one order. And so Shanice, she barely wanted to get off the table. She was falling off the table. She did that because they told her to do that. So she went and followed Shanice she went to follow Bria, and she had to talk with Bria. Bria, she was not receiving anything that Shanice was saying. And I think that's partly because she knows her friend, you know, she knows her friend, and she was not happy to like really hear from her. So what changed the mood for Bria was while she's talking to Shanice, this employee said, "Oh, let's go take shots. You have beautiful eyes." And Bria is like, "Oh, buy me a shot of Clase Azul." And when she said that, I could only think of Girls Trip with Giselle. When Giselle, I don't know if maybe not everyone watches Girls Trip, Real Housewives, Girls Trip of Thailand, but Casa Azul has been nothing but drama for our Bravo celebrities. So it was nice to see that her mood was picked up after receiving a free shot with the employee. That really brought up her spirit. And Shanice, she follows along. She's like, I want a shot too. I want a shot too. So she gets a shot too. And they seem to be happy go lucky, which is fantastic because I felt like they were getting into these little fights, which is okay, decent, but let's have more fun. I want to see more fun. So, jump scene. Phil, he makes it to the house. So he's at the summer house, and he gets in, and he's just drunk. He's drunk as a skunk. What an entrance. I never seen someone come the first time to any of these shows just drunk, that drunk. They already had a time of their life in the car on their way. They're filming now, and they're drunk. So he's drunk, and he sees Preston. He knows Preston. He says hi to Preston, and they take a shot together. And Phil, he wants to go to his room. And previously, when everyone first got to the house, he already made dibs to a room, and he told Bria to put a note, say that's his room, no one can move into it. And the room that he picked out, unfortunately, is taken by Nick. It is taken by Nick. So he doesn't have a room. And he's like, no, because he likes the room. So he's having problems. He's telling Preston his issues. And Preston is like, oh, go see Mariah. Maybe Mariah can help you with the living situation. He goes see Mariah. And I'm so happy that moment happened because Mariah was attracted to him. He was attracted to her. So I'm like, okay, another little something's gonna happen with these two. We gotta keep our eyes on this situation. But he is trying to figure out where he's gonna stay. So he's very adamant that he has Nick's room. So before they leave to go to the club to meet up with everybody else, Phil decides to poo poo in Nick's bathroom and not flush. And I thought that was just so childish. I thought that was so childish. Like, really? That's what we're doing? These people are grown. These people are grown. They're acting like call that. No, that's so gross. So meanwhile, while the others are at the club, we learn that this club is not even a club that what we think of when it's a club. The club was not clubbing, okay? It was just like an off random people in a group together, and it wasn't giving Miami club, it wasn't giving New York club, California club, it was giving retirement club. It was giving retirement club with the lights. With the lights. So I'm like, okay. But everyone seemed like they're gonna still make it a good time, a good vibe. So I was like, okay, fine, fair. So now everyone arrives to the club. So we have Preston, we have Phil, Mariah made it, and all the other people in the group, they have made it too as well. So Bria, of course, she is happy to see Phil because Phil is a vibe. Phil is a good time. He seems like a good time. He does seem like a good time. He came drunk. He already came drunk. He already did the pregame work. So Preston, he goes and tells Nick that, Phil moved his stuff because apparently he had this in that room. And then to top that off, Phil tells Nick that, oh, I pooped in your bathroom. And I'm like, the drama with the guys. This is drama with the guys. These guys are trying to show who's alpha, who's the dominant one in here. And I'm like, what's going on? What's gonna happen? We're in the club. Oh God, this is their first night out. What is it gonna be? But Nick, he is our classy guy. He's our refined guy. He's like, he's not gonna take this guy serious. He addressed that when they get home, but right now they're all having a good time. But I like that, Nick is a little bit shady. He's like, he's not gonna sweat this guy who comes in 90s fashion in a tracksuit. Like he don't got nothing on Nick, okay? So that seemed to like to be an end to it at that moment, but wait till we get to the house, y'all. Wait till we get to the house. So everyone is clubbing, they're having a good time, but Bria is not happy, y'all. Bria is not happy because she doesn't like that Mariah comes in and pretend that she didn't touch her and that the whole group is okay with that. So Bria, she's visibly upset. Jordan sees that, and Jordan, she gets pumped up, she gets hyped up, and she goes talk to Jasmine and let Jasmine know that it's not cool that Mariah could just come here and think that it's okay to put hands on people. That's not what we do. That's not what we all about. And Jordan, she's not having that, and she wants Jasmine to handle it. I'm like, Jasmine is not Mariah's handler. Jasmine is not Mariah's handler. So why are they putting it all on Jasmine? Like, what she got to do with it? So the crew, they head home, and that's when that's when everything's gonna go down. That's when everything's gonna pop. Everything's gonna pop. So Nick, he goes checking his room to make sure all his affairs are in order, that his stuff was not touched. And then he goes to the bathroom and he says, okay, he really just pooped and not flush. He goes downstairs and talk to Phil and tell Phil, no, with these games. Go flush it. Go flush it. It's done. And, Phil's like, no, I'm not going to flush it. You're going to flush it. And then he brings into slavery into it. And I'm like, what's slavery going to do with this? That is some mess. Phil is just too much. He's too wild. He brought slavery into this thing that, oh, how I was supposed to know, da 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 da. And everyone is just looking at him just so confused. So, Phil then goes off on Alex. And I'm like, Alex is just sitting and he's just chilling. And you want to go off on Alex? Like, this guy is really trying to show who's dominant. But I'm so happy that Amir, he's not the tallest guy in the house. But where he makes up with is in bravery. He stands up to Phil and says, "No, you just came into this house. You can't just talk and disrespect people in this house like that. That's not cool." So Phil gets into Amir's face. Amir gets into Phil's face. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want it to be a fight. I don't want people to get touched. And, it's just to me like this new guy is just talking in everyone's space. And I'm like, who's gonna check this? And Amir, he does not back down, and it's a situation where it's a to be continued. So we don't know what happened at the end, but that scene had me like, oh Lord. At least this was a good second episode. I would give them that because before I thought initially it was a little bit slow. Then it started to pick up with some fake drama, but then now we're in some real drama. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like who's Phil's handler is gonna be Bria, and Bria, she's tough. She let's have Bria tell Phil, check your tone, watch your tone, watch your tone. So let's have Bria do that to Phil, cause Amir, I don't know, Amir, you got this. I don't think Amir got this. Amir, no, you're too pretty to get punched in the face. So that was the episode. And I look forward for the third episode. What I would rate this episode, I think I'm gonna give it like let's be nice. I'll give it 8.2. 8.2 for the drama and the to be continued, the production of it all. I liked it. I liked that. I thought, okay, this show has a chance. So let's see. Let's give it a chance, like I said to you guys before. Let's give it a chance. Let's watch the third episode and we'll see how this plays out. So guys, if you like this recap, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you. And I will never get tired of saying that because I really, really do. I really do appreciate you guys taking your time to like, to share, and to really comment on this recap on this YouTube page. So guys, as always, share as much kindness as possible. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.